Welcome to Those Are the Girls with Mallory and Friends, the podcast where we explore life, career, relationships, and pop culture through a Christian conservative perspective. Each episode, we dive into deep topics that matter most to us women, from navigating your career with grace and confidence to watering meaningful relationships grounded in faith. We're here to empower you to embrace your femininity and stand firm in your beliefs. We'll also tackle the latest in pop culture, discussing how they align or clash with our values. Let's uncover the truth and encourage each other to live boldly and authentically. So whether you're at home or on your commute, get ready for some fabulous conversations. Grab your teacup, pour yourself some tea. Come on, girlies, we're changing culture. The views expressed on this podcast are our own and do not reflect our employers. Enjoy. Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas! Welcome to the Christmas episode of Those Other Girls with Mallory and Friends. I'm Mallory, your gal pal, and this is your new favorite show. Welcome, welcome, welcome. This is a Christmas episode. A lot has happened, and I just haven't been able to record, but I really wanted to record this Christmas episode, and then I have some fun things in the works. But I really wanted to record this Christmas episode mainly because I kind of wanted to talk about like some of the things that I'm learning. And Christmas is a fun holiday, and like a lot of podcasts I listen to aren't really a lot. Like one of the main podcasts I listen to, they're not really putting out episodes. So I'm like, oh, are a lot of people on hiatus? Which I get, it's the Christmas season, but I was able to like bulldoze this time in to give you guys a Christmas episode. And I want to say Merry Christmas. Jesus is the reason for the season and all that thing. It's gonna be just like a quick episode. And then that's that. So let's get into it. Let's talk a little bit about Christmas in general. This time of the year is so different than when we were younger. Like, let's be honest. One of the things I think about a lot is like when I was younger, so our bedtime was 8 o'clock, but we could watch TV until 8. We were always in like some sort of after school activity, and then we had to do our homework. But I distinctly remember like by like 7:15ish being able to like go to ABC Family and watch one of the Christmas shows. And that always just like brought in the Christmas magic. And when you're younger, your parents are doing a lot more effort to do Christmas things. And I think like when you have a family and you have kids, I'm not married nor do I have kids, so I don't know, but I'm assuming like you are also putting in all this effort. So it just feels like Christmas was a lot more magical than, when you're in your 30s and you're single. And it still feels good. Like I actually, the day before I'm recording, or the day I'm recording this, is the day after I had a Christmas party with like my like a big friend group that I'm in, and it was a blast. And we had Christmas music playing, and then we had like Christmas Eve, and we decorated Christmas ornaments, and we had like it was just such a fun, like it really got me in the season. So did oh, and then the YR Christmas party that I went to with my local YR chapter got me in the Christmas. So like it's definitely feeling Christmas, but it is like a different vibe. And I think like when we were I was cutting up the vegetables to at my friend's house when we were getting ready for the Christmas party. I was thinking, I was like, you know what? Like, we're the ones in charge of tradition. Like, we're the ones creating the Christmas party now. Like, we're the adults. So I think that's just really important for us. So things like that, um, just to like bring the Christmas magic itself. And like, it's never going to be the same as when you were a kid because that's just not the reality of situations. But like, you can make it so fun and magical and Christmassy. I don't do Santa. I mean, I'll watch Santa movies, but like, I'm not going to like have a Santa in my room or anything like that, or like decorate with Santas. I'm just not a Santa fan. And I'm not going to tell my kids, hot take, I'm not telling my kids about Santa either. Yeah, a hot take on that. But anyway, but like, having a Christmas tree, the lights, the ornaments, decorations, all that stuff, like you're in charge of it. So like that's how you do it. And making sure you have you throw a Christmas party. If you don't throw one, have someone else in your friend group throw one, go to one, do something Christmassy. And then, white elephant is always fun. I'll say this too, you don't have to do a white elephant that's like, minimum $50. That's kind of insane. Ours was maximum $15. So that was fun. Let me think what else. So some traditions that you can do to like as a woman who is like single and like who still wants to have like that fun Christmas magic, some traditions you can do. So like I said, decorating your tree, decorating your home, all those things. Number two, making sure that you have like a Christmas party or go to a Christmas party, attend a Christmas event. Like go do that. It really does get you in the spirit. Like having to find like my Christmas sweatshirt and like stuff like that, like really does get you excited in the spirit and like, okay, this is Christmas. Cause this is Christmas. Oh wait, is that a Christmas song? And never mind, forget that. But like, it's Christmas, like doing those type of things. Another thing, I started this year. This is my first year doing Christmas cards. Really fun. I gave my Christmas cards to my friends in person. I actually need to, by the time you see this, I will have mailed the other ones. But my friends that I saw in person, I gave them to them. And then, like, there was a couple people who I didn't know were coming. So, I got their Christmas cards for them real quick. But yeah, like, it's been fun. And, like, I've received, everyone that sent me a Christmas card, I have received, honestly, I need to text you, let you know I received it. But I received your Christmas card, and they're so sweet. Like, I have them on the fridge and, like, around in our, like, we have, like, an area that you put cards in. I put them there. Like I'm gonna put them in a box. I'm really gonna try to collect those, just like memory stuff. And it's just so like, yeah, like it's just happy. Like and to give out Christmas cards, I gave a Christmas card to some ladies at my church, and they were so sweet about it, and they were like so kind. And it was just like one of them was like, "Oh, I really wasn't expecting." It was just like it was fun. It's really good. So like doing that, and I know some people who are single, they'll do like a Christmas card, and then they'll have like their Instagram information, or they'll like have like some information on like how to date them so that friends can keep their Christmas card on their fridge all year. So then when their friends meet new people, maybe they meet new boys and the boys see that. That's something else you can do. I didn't do that, but some people do that. I think that's cute and funny. Another thing is during this time there are a lot of volunteer. I'm gonna sneeze. No, okay. There are a lot of volunteer opportunities, and I think during this time get involved in some volunteer opportunities. Do something, like decide in your heart that you're like to make a priority of something. This year I volunteered at the Young Lives Christmas party to in the children's section. I volunteered to watch the kids, and that was fun. But it was something I was like, okay, I want to do something. Like this was like something tangible, concrete that I could and did do. So that's one of the things that you can do. Let's see. What else do I have here? Also, I go to a Christmas Eve service. My church is having a Christmas Eve service. Not all churches do, but like if you can find one that does, if you haven't, like the church I grew up in, we had New Year's Eve. It's called like Watch Night. We had New Year's Eve service, but the church I'm going to now has Christmas Eve. And I have been to one or two churches before that would have a Christmas Eve service. I feel like that's another good way to like kind of like add something to Christmas and like really get you in the mindset of like what Christmas is actually about. I think that Christmas, to me, Christmas, the main purpose of Christmas is us celebrating the birth of our Savior. We know that this wasn't the actual day Jesus was born, okay? People in the comments, people who really want we know that it wasn't the day he was actually born, but this is the time we have set aside to celebrate it and to really reflect on what his birth means in our lives. Like, how is this applicable? How do we let the gospel, how do we let his birth change and shape us? This is that time of the year. That's the main purpose. But also, it's a time of like love with your family and friends and lovers. This is the time to reflect on like happiness and friendship and your family. And I think like we, during this season, that should be like our focus. So yes, it's good to get gifts. Like, hello, I have a Christmas list. Like, nothing's wrong with that. It's good to nothing wrong with like desiring, the matching pajama set with your boyfriend or your husband. There's something wrong with that, but I think like making sure our focus is on like Jesus and like in the moments where we do, because once again, I'm human. I'm in my 30s. I'm 31, and like no man in sight. So obviously, I would like a husband, but like not focusing on that in this season. And it's hard, girlies. It's hard. It's so hard. I actually have 4 ways that we're going to beat loneliness of this holiday season. Linked on my website. It's on the website on the blog. thosearethegirls.com/blog. If you look, it's one of the latest blogs. 4 ways we're going to beat this loneliness. But yeah, I wanted to think about that, which leads me to the next thing. It fell. The next thing I want to talk about, one second, everyone, is my Advent book that I've been going over. The Dawning of Indestructible Joy. Indescribable Joy. Well, it's also indescribable, but it's Indestructible Joy by John Piper. I'm reading this. This is the first time I've ever done anything for Advent. So it's 25 devotional readings from John Piper and started at December 1st. And then it goes all the way to December 24th, sorry, 25th. And then there's a conclusion. What I wanted to read, I have some highlights. What I wanted to read in the introduction really quick is something that I highlighted, something that I have been thinking about during this season. And I know you guys are getting this. This episode's coming out like Christmas will practically be over. It might even be over by the time you hear this, but I do think like it's something we can still think about and like honestly think about this for the future. I do kind of wish I had done an episode and like mentioned this earlier as we were going into the season. So, next year I'll be on top of that. But I really want to share this. It says, okay, so this is John Piper writing this. He goes, the fullness of God is experience, he says, as we are given the strength to comprehend the love of Christ in its height, depth, length, and breadth. Give yourself time and quietness in this Advent season and seek this experience. Pray yourself the prayer of Paul in Ephesians 3:14-19, that ye may be filled with all the fullness of God, that you may have the power to comprehend with all the saints what is breadth and length and height and depth, and to know the love of Christ that surpasses knowledge. Let's go to Ephesians 3:14-19. 1 second. Ephesians, Philippians, Colossians, 14-19. So I ask that you not lose your heart over what I am suffering for you, which is your glory. For this reason, I bow my knee before the Father, and for whom every family in heaven and on earth is named. And according to the riches of his glory, he may grant you the strength to be strengthened with power through his Spirit in your inner being, so that Christ may dwell in your hearts through faith, and that you, being rooted and grounded in love, may have strength to comprehend all the saints. Wow, comprehend with all the saints what is the breadth and length and height and depth, and to know the love of Christ that surpasses knowledge, that ye may be filled with all fullness of God. And I'm telling you, ever since I read that, I cannot stop thinking about that. To understand the true breadth, depth, length, and height of God's love, the fullness of God. And that is truly my prayer for this Advent season for myself, and then for anyone listening as well, and all my friends and family and everything. But like, that is truly like what I want to do. And honestly, going into 2026, that is something that I want to dive more in, is understanding the fullness of God's love, the breadth, height, length, width, Anyway, the point is, in depth. I want to know the love of God that surpasses knowledge. Like I want to understand the fullness. And I've been thinking about that, especially this Advent season. And I really wanted to share that with you guys. And just about joy. I think about joy a lot just because like happiness versus joy. Like when you're in certain seasons in your life, you're definitely going to be more happy, definitely going to be more joyful in certain seasons because that's just like how life is. And I think about that, right? And I think about that and like, let me see here. Yes. And I think about like that. So it makes me think about like joy, like what actually is joy. And I'm going to talk about this more in another episode that we're having. But I was having my conversation with my friend. I just really feel like sharing this. I have a conversation with my friend about like life. And she made a comment and she said something along the lines of like, you know, she's one of my closest friends. So I've shared some very personal things with her. And she's like, it's just so crazy whenever you told me this or you shared this with me because it's like watching you, it doesn't really seem like that is like you're going through XYZ. Because you're always, on social media, you're always so happy, like you still have like joy. And I thought about that, and because like I do think about joy versus happiness. Like, am I truly happy? Like, is this life that I live a happy life? Also, do I have joy? Like, do I have what is actually joy? And when I really think about it, like when you think about life and everything, like joy is, I I feel as if joy is just like having moments of what we would identify as happiness, and like, but it's more rooted in like, you know what, at least we have Jesus type of thing. That's how I see it. I mean, I could be wrong. Hey, I'm not a Bible scholar, and I'm certainly not a preacher because I'm a woman. But um, I think about that, and like in this season of life that I live, I'm just I like just a lot of, everybody goes through this. Like we all go through things, and like when we're in a certain season where it just feels like it's one thing after another, one thing after another, we're sad, we're this, we're that. I like we're disappointed, we're this, we're that. I think about Job, which I hate. Like I absolutely hate comparing myself to Job. And I'm talking to another friend about this because it just feels so like, yeah, I'm Job. Like I have the greatest heart toward God, and now God is testing me. You know, I hate that thought. And like realistically, like Job lost his kids, like that. I can't think of anything worse. I've lost some things too, but like not kids. Well, I don't have kids, but you guys know what I'm trying to. Anyway, I just call it a Job moment. Do you say blessed be the name of the Lord, or do you curse God? Which one do you do? And I think when you have joy, indestructible joy, when you have that, it is easier to say blessed be the name of the Lord. You do say blessed be the name of the Lord. You might be crying while you're saying it, and you might be disappointed in things, but it is a blessed be the name of the Lord response, as opposed to like the curse God and die. So anyway, that's something I've been thinking of while I've been reading. Let me see, what are some other things in here that I have highlighted? Another thing, it talks about how God owns and controls all things. There is nothing that he could give you for Christmas this year that would suit your needs and your longings better than the consolation of Israel and the redemption of Jerusalem, restoration of past losses, liberation from future enemies, forgiveness, freedom, pardon, and power, healing the past and sealing the future. And there's a longing in your heart this Advent for something that the world has not been able to satisfy. Might not this longing be God's Christmas gift, preparing you to see Christ as consolation and redemption and to receive him for who he really is? Okay, actually, yeah, sorry. And then this is how you prepare your heart, and then I'll wrap it up on this. First, your heart must become disenchanted with the praise of men. Second, the heart must become disenchanted with the sufficiency of money and things to satisfy the soul. Hard. Hard. Disenchanted from the praise of men. Hard. But to me, more doable. Disenchanted with the sufficiency of money. Hard. Very hard. Third, alongside the disenchantment with the praise of men and the power of money, there must come into the heart a longing for consolation and a redemption beyond what the world can give. Hard. Because we live in the world. And the fourth, there must be a revelation from God the Father, opening the eyes of your heart, so that it cries out like a man who stumbled into incredible treasures. You are the Christ, the Son of the living God, the consolation of my past, the redemption of my future, and now I see you, and now I receive you for who you really are. So these are some things that like, and what's so real about this is like, especially for me, the money thing, like money would definitely make my life a lot easier. Would probably solve like 99% of my problems, but really 100% of my problems won't. I won't feel the weight of 100% of my problems if I am completely pointed toward Christ. You see what I'm saying? So yeah. So that's just something I've been thinking about. This, I love this. Maybe we can do one as a group next year. I don't know. We'll see. What's today? The 21st. So I'm on day 21. Getting your eyes ready for Christmas is what it's titled. Okay. So that is like Jesus is the reason for the season type of thing. That is like the Jesus is the reason for the season type of thing that I just want to remind everyone. And like, I think this is like the, sorry, I'm just like looking at my docket. I have to figure out how to like do this without being distracted. I think like this is how the biggest way to like defeat like sadness or like disappointment or whatever is like focusing on Jesus the reason for the season. As corny as that sounds. And I think like when for me, when my eyes are not focused on myself, things I'm disappointed in with XYZ when it comes to me, when my eyes are not on me, I feel tremendously better. It's just, I just cannot describe it to you guys. It is just so much better when you're not stressing over that. And I hope that for everyone, like, I just hope that you guys are able to really like dive into who Jesus is this season, and then to be around family that loves you, as well as do something with your life, but like do something like that helps other people. Let's see. What else should I talk about? Honestly, I guess that's it. I just really hope you guys have a beautiful, wonderful Christmas. I hope that you just remember Jesus is the reason for this. I keep saying that but like it just comes out of my mouth. It's kind of corny. I'll admit that. But I hope you remember that, like, Jesus, the reason why we can celebrate and we're happy, the reason why this is happening is because this is the time we have dedicated to celebrate the birth of our Savior. And just like really focus on that and spend time with your friends. I hope you have been able to see your family, and I hope that you are able just to feel loved. And if you don't feel loved, just know that I love you. Everyone that listens, I love you. I appreciate you. I love you. I'm so grateful to have listeners. I have some recap things that I'm going to be doing in the next couple of weeks. That are going to be fun. So I appreciate you, everyone listening. And I guess that's just how I'm going to end it. It's a quick one. So have a good day, night, evening, however, wherever you're listening. Bye.